Am I always this naked, you may ask? Well, of course not. But I do prefer to tell the naked truth. You see, I like it juicy, raw, and uncensored. The truth, that is. So today's topic is about who am I? So if someone asks you, who are you? What would you respond? The question of who are you is very unusual. However, when someone says, who are you? Usually people respond with, of course, their names and their occupation, or what they like to do in their leisure time. What is the real answer when someone says, who are you? What would you respond? I ask my guests on my shows on Wednesday, who are you and what brings you joy? So today I will answer those questions myself. So who am I? I am ZEN TENN. That is my name. My legal government name is Hervey, Tennessee, which was changed from Hervé Pétion, which is a Haitian or French name. Hervé and Pétion is my father's last name. And I changed that name to Tennessee, which is the last name, around 2007, I believe. However, I've always felt my name was Tennessee. Even in high school, I would say middle school and high school. So when I had the opportunity to change it to Tennessee, I've changed it to Tennessee. And I kept the first name Hervey. Well, it's not pronounced Hervey, but many people call me Hervey or Harvey or Herv. There's a coworker, she would call me Herv the Perv. Not that I'm a perv, but it was funny. And I like a good joke. So I changed my last name and I kept my first name. And in 2015, I believe, the universe named me Zen. So I have gone by ZEN TENN since 2015, and at work I am called Tennessee. I prefer Tennessee because a lot of people, if they don't speak French or are not French, they do not know how to pronounce my first name, which is Hervé. So do not try unless you know how to pronounce it, please. So that's part of who I am, is my name, and who I am secondarily would be the word, probably. Secondarily is my character. That's for me. Who you are could be different for you. And when I ask people who they are, it's usually their name and occupation and what they like to do. But for me, it's different. First, of course, it's my name and my character. So part of my character, of my meditation and mantras every morning and at night, I usually say those mantras. I am peace. I am love. I am Zen. I am kind. I am patient. I am wise. Along those lines. So those are my mantras because that's who I thrive to be and who I work on to be. And that's who I have become and that's who I am. Because I make those mantras and like prayers and I make them part of me, and I not only make them as mantras, but I practice them in my life. And if you know me or you interacted with me and you've seen me, you can attest to those character traits. Because part of my personality or persona or something I've clinged to is a perfectionist personality as well as an extremist personality. And I've learned to be in the middle, to have a balance, and it's something I'm still working on. So therefore, I often strive to be the best within myself, not the best in the room or the best in society or the best in compared to anybody else. It's just the best within me. So I make sure to have those character traits and I practice those to those around me. So these are what and who I am. And I read somewhere, if I don't if I'm not wrong about this, I probably read in the book of Don Miguel Ruiz, not the Four Agreement, but another book. I googled it earlier and I totally forgot it again. But it mentioned, if I'm correct, it mentioned in order to know who you are, you have to know who you are not, or vice versa. Who you're not, you can know who you are. And I definitely know who I'm not, and I'm self-aware, and I am a mindful person, which I'm very grateful of, and I practice that to remain that every day. And so therefore I know who I am, and therefore I know who I'm not. And who I am and who I'm not is something that can be practiced every day and have to be mindful about, because you can change who you are in a matter of seconds. And I believe that who you are is your character beside your spiritual or your inner self. Spiritual and what's the other word? Yeah, your spirit. So, but basically we're talking about the tangible world. So, right now. And so who I'm not is, although a lot of people will label me as certain things, or they will see me or perceive me as certain things, I am not those things. And who I am, although in society people can say that's who you are and that's who you're seen as, but who I am is who I am, period, regardless of who anyone else think I am. So to break the ice, or not break the ice, but to set it out there, is I am not my skin color, I am not my sexuality. However, those are part of my tangible self. But I don't live my everyday life as going outside and live as people would call me a black man or a gay man or etc. whatever anyone label me as. Funny thing is, I probably would have labeled myself as those things in the past or in regular conversations. However, those things are not who I am. In a sense, people would say, I am proud to be black or I'm proud to be gay. So I usually ask those people these questions. What is being proud to be a sexuality or a skin color? And whatever response you may have, that's your prerogative. And there's no judgments upon you or shame or guilt. And there's none upon me either. And when I have this conversation with some people, they would say, well, you self-hate or you don't like this part of yourself, you should be proud. Who are you to tell me who I am? Do you know who you are? Okay, good, you know who you are. But you do not know who I am. Who I am to you is perceived through your lens. And the tangible stuff you see is my skin color. Okay? And you might think or say that I'm gay or queer. But I never said those things. You say it. And you might say, oh, because that's how you behave. Well, I hate to break it to you. There's more to meet the eye. And what you see is usually what it's not perceived to be. So when it comes to who are you and who am I like to inspire people to see more than skin deep, and to inspire people to see someone's character. And even you may judge on character, which I believe. However, don't even judge or don't even condemn. It's human to judge, it's human to discern, but don't go to the length of condemnation of, hey, that person is gay or that person is black or that person is this or that or not this or that. And of course, if you choose to do those things, it's your prerogative. So the second question of what brings you joy? When someone would say who they are, they will talk about their work. That may bring them joy, but as we know, a lot of times work do not bring people joy. So who are you when it comes, people would say what they do for fun. So that usually brings them joy. So what brings me joy? This brings me joy. On my leisure time, I sing, I write, I meditate, I make stories in my head. I have fun with myself. Actually, yesterday I was walking and I was thinking of someone was saying that they like they love their mother but they do not like their mother. And that sat with me and I was thinking and I was like, how much do I love myself and how much do I like myself? And I had a big smile on my face. I said, wow, I do love myself and I do like myself. And I'm so blessed and grateful to be in a state where I'm able to like myself and love myself. For those of you who's listening to this and asking, what do you mean like and love? I would implore you to think about that. You can love yourself, but you may not be able to like yourself, or you can like yourself and not love yourself. It's like and love is very different, and if you're able to do both, dude. So what brings me joy? Again, I like to walk on the beach. Just kidding. Of course, I do like to walk on the beach. I love this sound that's bringing me joy. My grandfather clock, tick tock, tick tock. You probably hear it once in a while. And what brings me joy is reading, mostly audiobooks. What brings me joy is work. Most of my work that I like brings me joy. I am very blessed and grateful that I do not do anything that does not bring me joy. And I will not say never, but sometimes, even last week, I did a job which I confirmed to do for 2 days, and I was not happy at the job. Although I meditated and I did my best to have joy, it was not there. So I fulfilled my commitment for 2 days, and I made sure not to come back to the job. Even when the manager said, hey, would you like to work again? I told them, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, but this job is not my calling. And it paid well, $26. Some of you might say, oh my God, $26 is not a lot of money, so whatever. And the job I think was for 2 weeks. And some of you might say, $26, are you crazy? How you turn down a job like that? Can you put a price on your well-being? Can you put a price on your happiness or your joy? You may say yes, but I'm sorry, I cannot. My rent is a lot of money for some and may not be a lot of money for some. To me, it's not a lot of money for depending what you're making in New York City. So therefore, I am very grateful to have a roof over my head that brings me joy. I am grateful that I'm able to pay my rent and my expenses are under $1,500 living in New York City. Can you believe it? I'm very blessed and grateful for that. So therefore, living in New York City, there's no excuse to do any job. Again, my opinion and my life. I'm not talking about you. So don't get offended. So, because when I've said that on Facebook, people get offended. But I'm talking about myself. So living in New York City, if I'm doing something that I'm not happy doing, there's something wrong with me. And I need to be honest with myself and have integrity and say, hey, this is not bringing me happiness. I'm not doing it. And of course, there's a level of happiness. I work with a person who often yells at me and gets frustrated and everything. And I'm getting paid less with him than I'm getting paid with other jobs that I do. And I'm taking it not because I'm have a lack, but I'm taking it because I can and I'm okay doing that. But certain things, and I'm happy doing it because I'm learning a lot from him and I'm okay. And I think for you, you can discern on your own to see, hey, what I'm doing, does it bring me happiness? Does it bring me joy? And if it doesn't, would it be okay to do without affecting your well-being? Like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, the job was affecting my well-being. I had to say no. And the job that I'm doing, helping the person that I'm doing some construction work or electrician work, etc., brings me joy and I'm happy. And even when that person is yelling and doing all this stuff, I know it's not personal. I know that's who he chooses to be at that moment or whatever he clinging to. So I'm not attached to it. So that's the difference. And praying or having mantra saying, hey, give me wisdom, telling the universe to make me wise and give me wisdom, is having the discernment of saying, I can work with this person and still be happy, or I can do this job and I cannot be happy and I have to quit. So there's no tagline to it. And so that's who I am. So another thing in who am I is how I treat others, of course, as I mentioned earlier, in character. Recently I've had a phone conversation with a coworker, and we had a little funny thing going on, and I handled the call pretty well. Another thing that I do is, before I talk to anybody, I make sure there's a list in front of my eye. The list goes from compassion, understanding, respect, empathy. And so if I do not have that at the moment to talk to somebody, I will not talk to them until I have those, because everyone is deserving of compassion, empathy, respect, and I say the fourth one, I don't remember at the moment. And so even if that person is your claim to be enemies, even that person you think they're not deserving of it, I believe, for me, everyone deserves that. And I apply that in my life, and my life is wonderful. Not 100%. I could use a little bit more money and a life partner. That's the only thing I won't say that I'm lacking. I'm pretty happy within myself and I'm very content. But of course, as a human being, you want to grow more, and that's another thing I would like to have more. A great partner that complements me, that's going through the spiritual realm and growth, etc. And of course, more money. So how I treat other people is part of who I am. And I'm very, very blessed and grateful and very happy of who I am. And part of who I am is my past. However, your past does not need to define who you are in the future. You have to live in the present and define who you are every day in that present. And thank you for tuning in to see in that episode of Who Am I and Who Are You? So a lot of people tend to not know who they are. And a lot of people tend to not know how to answer that question. So if you're listening to this today, I implore you and I basically request, employ is the same word, that you really think about that question. And that question will bring up a lot of things for you.